Evening, everyone, and welcome to In the Know with Kat Bobino. Today, I actually have two special guests. The first guest is very special to me, and some of you might have know him, some of you might not have met him just yet, but I would like to introduce you to Mr. Tavare Williams.
Hello.
So, Tavare, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh, I'm nobody special. My name is Tavare Williams. I grew up in Oakland, California, born and raised. I am bred here in Oakland, loving Oakland. Um, uh, I'm a triplet.
Should we talk about the science behind being a triplet?
By all means, we could definitely go into that. I just know about being a triplet. Now, how that occurs is beyond me.
Okay. Well, Mr. Tavare Williams, welcome to the show. Tavare is very special to me because this is the man that I have been dating for almost 2 years now. So some of you may know it. Again, some of you may not know it, but he wanted to join us and talk about science, tech, engineering, and math. And so, as you guys know, this is my podcast. So you're tuning in to In the Know with Kat Bobino, but we also go live on Facebook every Wednesday night at 6:30 PST, Pacific Standard Time. So if you have questions, if you want to be involved, all you have to do is send us a message or call in. And if you want to join us at the studio, just let me know and we will welcome you. So for this episode, I am going Facebook Live from my business page, which is In the Know Consulting, but I'm also sharing it on my personal page. So I'm hoping that you guys can see it and that you guys are tuning in. Again, once you are in it, just let me know and we will go from there. Our other guest, he will be joining us shortly. His name is James Rockefeller III. He is one of the owners of this fabulous studio that we are doing this podcast in, and he's going to be joining us as soon as he is done with all the technical difficulties. So we're going to be talking about a robot in the new future. This robot is being done in Australia, South Australia, and what they're doing with this robot is absolutely amazing. They are teaching kids all about language, a dying language. They're also talking about coding or teaching them coding. Like the things that they're doing right now in South Australia, I think is something that needs to be done here.
I do agree. I agree. We have all of it. We claim to be ahead of everybody, yet we're behind when it comes to education.
Oh yeah. So I want to shout out Jeanette and Trina for joining us on Facebook Live. Again, if you have any questions or concerns, just go ahead and send it to us. I'm going to be monitoring on my tablet Samsung. So Samsung, if you want to donate, please do, because we love Samsung. We have Samsung watches, Samsung tablets, Samsung computers. So yeah. So we're going to get started. Once James is ready, he'll join us. But let's go ahead and start. James Rockefeller III. We call him Rocke, though. When Rocke joins us, he can join the conversation. But we are talking about a robot named Pink.
Yes.
Pink is a robot that they are dealing with in South Australia and is teaching school children how to speak a dying Aboriginal language as well as teaching them coding. So I gave Mr. Williams a assignment to read the story. So what do you think about that?
I found the story very fascinating, and definitely with the kids being enthusiastic about communicating with a humanoid robot. It was interesting to see how they had no interest in a particular language, but yet took all of the efforts needed to not just teach the robot the language that they didn't have any interest in, but to learn the language needed to communicate with the robot to teach her the language.
Oh, yes, her. That's right. So Pink is actually a girl robot, and Pink is humanoid. So it looks like one of the children, and they're showing on the pictures and the video how they're able to code for this robot and how they're able to showcase this robot,
Yes.
which I think is absolutely amazing.
And I have to give the principal much respect and credit for thinking outside the box and going against the grain when it comes to education to say, I got to get them interested in a particular subject that has no interest.
Absolutely. So, a little history about this. I first came across this on a website called Careers in STEM. And so this is a digital magazine that is born and raised in Australia. I was able to meet some of the founders of the magazine about a couple years ago. And we hosted a program in San Francisco. And so this digital magazine is also paper magazine, but for us, since it's in Australia, we can watch or we can go to it as digital. But they were the first ones that I saw that was talking about this robot called Pink in the school. This is at the Matlin Lutheran School. It's an independent co-educational primary and middle school in the farming district of Matlin, York Peninsula in South Australia. This school is located on the traditional lands of the Rocke people. So because this is a traditional school on traditional land, they have a lot of students who have a background in Nurunga, right?
Yep.
But as sometimes it goes, it's only about 16% who has this Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander background. However, the school and the principal decided they wanted to teach these students more about the traditional culture of the Aboriginal people. What they tried to do at first was do a paper dictionary and teach the students the language with a paper dictionary.
Correct.
However, that didn't work.
No, it did not.
Our 21st century students are not into the books. They're not into reading the paper, reading the dictionary. No. So instead, they came up with a robot.
Yes.
A programmable robot that's about the size of the children. And it kind of humanized it for the kids.
Yeah.
So they had an opportunity to not only see something that kind of looks like them. Yeah. I'm saying kind of because if you look at the picture, it doesn't. But it's more human-like than other robots.
This is true.
Right?
Yes.
And so the children instantly took to this robot.
Yes, they did.
They
even started to treat the robot like one of them, but also a younger version of one of them. So you could tell that they actually they grew to protect the robot. What I found very interesting is that when you looked at the fact that there was 240 students there and none of them had an interest in learning their cultural language, where some of us to this day, we would love to know and learn our cultural language.
Right.
And we have no clue as to what that is because we don't have anyone old enough and reliable enough to give it any weight or give it any value. But these kids, the principal, as amazing as he is and the school itself, said, we will not let our culture die.
Right, exactly. And so the question is, even if it was us, what would be our culture? As African American people, what is our language, our dying language that we do not know?
Very great question. I couldn't tell you mine. I couldn't tell you what tribe I came from or what part of Africa I came from. I couldn't tell you.
I couldn't tell you either. That's the sad part. I wish I could. Yeah. I wish I could, but I can't. But if I did know, this would be a great opportunity to learn a culture and learn a language that is dying or maybe dead or hopefully not dead at all. True. That they're actually still speaking this language in Africa, but this would be great, right?
It would be. One of the things I did like that was mentioned in the article is that the children felt that the humanoid robot, Pink, she did not judge them as they may have mispronounced or said the words incorrectly, which is, when you think about it, when it comes to learning something new, for instance, like science, we are so worried about trying to impress our instructors or the ones that's teaching us that we judge ourselves so hard that we block our own learning ability.
Right. That's the sad part, right? We don't want to block our blessings. And with this, we have students who are, as I think in America, what we would call them is like kindergarten or elementary.
Yes.
And this childlike humanoid robot, right, is programmable. So it actually did not speak the Nurunga language when it first was given to the students.
Yes.
However, the students were taught the language so that they in turn can teach the robot Pink the language. But what they found was that she could not pronounce the words.
Correct.
So they had to make it phonetically correct.
Yes.
So the students not only had to know the language, know how to say the words and be phonetical about it, but then teach a robot how to do it.
Yes.
I think that's amazing.
It was,
quite honestly.
It was very impressive because we sometimes, especially here in America, we tend to hold our kids back saying that they're not ready for something or they're not capable of doing something. Yet when you look at what Australia did, they didn't hold their kids back. They actually gave them a platform to excel. And not only did the kids excel, they went beyond their expectations of the teachers and the principal. Because it's already hard enough to learn how to spell a word that you don't use on a daily basis. But then to go in there and learn how to spell it phonetically so that when someone else is pronouncing it or reading it, they can pronounce it correctly. That's just amazing to me to see a primary school, so to speak, group of students actually go in and do something very complex that me as an adult can't do.
Yeah. I can't do it. I'm going to be real honest with you. I cannot do that. So for these students to not only do it, they have the desire to do it.
Yes.
You know, it wasn't like they were really just pushed into it. Hey, you need to learn coding. You need to learn this dying language. No, these students wanted to learn it. Once Pink was introduced, they wanted to educate a robot.
Yes.
And go ahead.
No, I was going to say it's just like when we get new smartphones. For those of us that are fans of a particular maker or brand or manufacturer of a phone, whenever a new phone comes out, we take time out to learn everything we can about the phone to ensure that we are getting its full potential. But yet, if you say, go learn about a car and you're not interested in cars, you're not going to put the energy in to learn what you need to learn about a car to keep it moving or anything else outside of putting gas and oil in it. That's all some of us know how to do.
That's kind of all I know how to do. I'm gonna be real. I was driving a car and had the tire burst, and normally I'd call AAA. Sad but true. I can't change a tire, but I called Tavare and he was here. Okay, looks like our second guest is joining us.
Oh, yes, now.
Yes, you are a guest. So welcome.
Let me sit in the guest chair. I'm a guest. Okay.
So this is how this is about to go.
Yeah, I'm a guest. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Your studio is lovely. This
Thank
is really
you.
Nice. Wow.
I have a good friend who allows me to use this studio, so I'm very blessed.
This is great. Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining us.
It's all good.
So again, you're listening to In the Know with Kat Bobino, and I have two guests with me today. I have Mr. Tavare Williams, who is a triplet, as he told you, and is joining us because I pulled him in.
And her boo.
I was going to say, don't need that extraness. And then we also have James Rockefeller III.
Boot up.
Boot up, yeah. But your boo is not here. I hope she's watching.
I don't have a boo. I have a wife.
That's your boo, though.
Yeah, no, it's not my boo. Boo is like 90s. It's wife.
Okay.
See, I got to do wife or spouse or significant other.
And not only does he have a wife, but they make a very powerful, beautiful couple.
You're absolutely right. You're
right.
Yeah.
Way to suck up to him.
He knows he's not. That's my folks, and this is how we gonna start this.
Okay. This is how we gonna roll today. I mean, I'm having technical.
straight R&B, straight R&B,
Wow.
straight R&B.
Wow.
Come on, Kat. What did you think I was gonna do when I got
Oh
here?
my God.
It's
Oh,
cold. It's a little
sorry.
hot outside.
Oh, Trina said, okay, husband. Yes, that's
Oh, you
cute.
can do
Oh.
lips with it too, huh?
Yeah, the
Okay.
purse duck lips. Okay, husband.
Oh, is that what they call him?
Mhm. That's what they call duck lips.
I know now.
Coming to the 21st century, please, Rock. Thank you.
I like your show, Kat.
I
like-
appreciate that.
I really do.
Thank you, guys.
I
Thank you.
met Kat like, what was it, like 3 years ago?
About that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Kat, like, I didn't know Kat was a scientist, right? Because we was at this career day, and you know, she had on these jeans, these little pumps, you know, walking around, and she had like all the dudes at career day following her, right? And I was just like, okay, what does she do? And of course, I was going to ask, and I was like, what do you do? She said, I'm a scientist. I was like, really? And she had dudes just like talking about her. Yes, yo,
Yes.
girl over there.
Yes.
Yeah, man, she a scientist. She do this, she do that. She had a fan club. So I was like, I have to work with her. And we've been partners ever since.
Yes.
I mean, I want to set the record straight. I don't think I had a fan club.
We had a fan club.
I
believe you, Rock.
She had a fan club.
No. What I had was people interested in science.
That how we gonna flip that?
Yes, because I was speaking life into science.
We were sitting at a table, right?
Yes.
Like she was at another table. And the table I was sitting at, she had this one dude like on, like, man, she got a YouTube page and everything. Like it was super rare to have a YouTube page. I was like, she got fans.
You hear this? Y'all hear this, right? Y'all hear? Okay.
But she's super intelligent when
Yes,
it comes
she
to
is.
when
Yes,
it
she
comes
is.
to science, because I'm always asking her stuff. I was asking her about bees.
Yeah.
And I was asking what's her favorite animal.
Yeah.
And she told me what did you say, the
Cheetah.
And
Mhm.
then she broke it down. And I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, that's dope.
Because when she told me about the cheetah, I didn't ever thought the cheetah would even be considered in the close or even kindly related to a dog. And I was like, well, can you break that down? And then when she gets so excited about it, I'm like, she lost me on most of it, but I'm gonna go with it.
Yeah. And she breaks it down so smooth. So she is a real scientist.
Yes, she is.
And she's
by
been
all
on like
means.
Stephen Hawking's show.
Yes.
She's done some stuff.
Yeah.
She got credits.
Yeah, she does.
So ask her questions about science, like, what do we do on hot days besides drink water? Is that a scientific question or?
I mean, I'll take it. You know, I'll take it. But I actually, on very, very hot days, you should be drinking Gatorade or something of like that because you want your electrolytes back. However, I will tell you that Gatorade does have a lot of sugar in it, so you want to dilute it with water.
See, and I didn't know that. I've been running track over half my life and has done very well in it, and never knew that the sugar content was so high that we needed to dilute it.
Well, actually, when I did that show Genius with Stephen Hawking, one of the other people who were on my show, the guy, he has his PhD in like nutrition and like sports science. And he was the one who told me to dilute the Gatorade. He told me that when they first came out with Gatorade, which was University of Florida, the Gators, right, for them, it wasn't that sweet. It was all about getting the electrolytes. But when they put it on the shelf to be sold, they added the sugar content because more people would drink it that way.
Right.
But you want to dilute it. It has great electrolytes in it. Don't get me wrong, but you do want to dilute it. And I want to say thank you to Tiana. She says, I'm super passionate and intelligent. I appreciate that. Thanks, girl. But yes.
Oh, that is so cool.
It is.
Okay, so why is black people like super mad like on hot days?
Come on.
You notice that like on hot days, black people just like elevate stuff, like, you know, and then after everything is always like, man, because it's hot. It's like that's the whole man. It's hot out here, man. I ain't standing in this McDonald's line so long, man. It's hot.
Yes.
Why black people upset on hot days?
Listen, listen. I'm gonna say I do understand science generally, but I am not an expert, and I'm smart enough to say I don't know. But I'm gonna say it ain't just black people who get mad at the heat. There is people of all races and colors and creeds that when it get hot, You know, I saw a post today. It said, when it's hot, drink a lot of water and just don't step to me. Because that's what you don't want to do in the heat.
That's actually funny.
That is a good one.
But we got to go back to our original conversation because we
Yes.
have a question from Trina saying, why do you think Pink worked so well with the students in Australia?
Yes. Oh, that was
That's
a nice
good
question. Wow.
Very good question.
Anyone want to take it before I jump in?
Yeah, before you correct us, let me go ahead and get my error in here.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I believe that one reason why Pink did so well is because when the kids humanize her, they put her on their level,
right,
and not a teacher's level. And so when one is communicating with a peer, a friend, an associate that they can confide in and feel themselves, it's easier to adapt or elevate to keep a common ground with someone that they consider friend. If you're my friend and I don't know science, I'm going to do what I can to learn enough about it to always ensure we have something to talk about.
Right. Okay. Well, yes, according to the article with careers in STEM, that's generally what it was the case. You know, we have students, young students who are being taught by an elder, someone bigger, taller, who is teaching them language. If you've ever tried to learn language is a hard subject.
Yeah.
You know, it's easier to do when you're younger, but as you get older, trying to learn about.
You have no patience.
Yeah, no patience.
That is the truth.
And then
no patience.
Right. And then you're trying to associate it with something you already know. Because
Yes.
you've been speaking your language for as long as you've known. So now you're trying to associate these different tones and dialects with something you may not know.
True.
Right?
Very true.
But when we have these students, on one hand, they had a robot that was small, just like them, or smaller than them, actually. Mm. It was something that they had a hand in dealing with, which was programming it.
Yes.
Right? And they were also starting to be taught from, get this, the only one native speaker left of that language.
Wow.
And she came into the classroom and started to teach them all these different languages. And they're in turn taking what they're learning and they're becoming the teacher to Pink.
Yes.
And they're teaching Pink how to speak it, but phonetically correct. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it becomes a project.
Yes.
You know, the student becomes the teacher. When you give a kid an opportunity to be the quote unquote adult in the situation and teaching someone or something else, they're going to jump for that.
Yeah.
I'd like hall monitor.
Yeah.
Right.
That's where the future of law enforcement came from, the hall monitor.
Right.
I'm going to report you like 3:00. I'd like to say what's up to Johann Scott. It's a cat I grew up with. That's my folks.
Okay.
Right.
Well, welcome. Thanks you for joining us. But there is like a commercial. What was it? Like a Marines commercial it was a woman, but she was like, I don't know if she was a hall monitor, but she saw somebody getting beat up and she like ran after them and stopped it. Then she was playing like rugby.
Yes.
And then she became like a Marine person. So it kind of fits your mold.
Yeah, if you don't have the arm banister, you're not a hall monitor. You have to have that arm banister. You have to have that and that hat. Other than that, you're not a hall monitor.
Well, then I'm going to.
And then you had to have that little bag. You had to have that little stripe thing to go across. That was the future of law enforcement in the school.
Well, let me come this way and then across.
Yeah, because remember, we treated them like cops too. Yeah. Man, they go Bobby over there, man. Bobby be tripping. That's the future of law enforcement. Well, Bobby grew up to be a cop.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I was never a hall monitor, but I was a traffic monitor. I don't know if they did that at y'all schools, but I had the orange vest with the thing. But I was outside before school started and after school started.
You had the white
one, and I was like waving cars on, you know. This was at Maxwell Park. It's not even called Maxwell Park anymore. I don't know the name of it. It's some charter school, but Maxwell Park Elementary in Oakland. That's where I went. And yes, I was a traffic monitor, but I'm not a cop.
You're a scientist. You went and you are the reason you figure out why rubber and the pavement work so well.
That's good.
But good. You know what though?
I'm not mad at that.
I'm gonna say like I might be I'm an animal biologist, so I love animals.
Yes.
But I don't know everything about science, but I love it. And like the pavement hit the road. It's so interesting that you said that because sometimes I actually look at the fact when it's raining super hard and I'm on a hill like at Cal State East Bay coming down, and you just feel like the tires should slide on this hill coming down, but it doesn't. Even if you slam the brakes on a rainy day, you might slide, but it's not you're gonna have traction.
Yes.
And it amazed me. I had to look it up one day because that's my nerdiness. Like when I see something I really like, I just look it up. And it's, the tracks in the car, and the uneven pavement is something with that allows for it to just suction to the road.
See?
And that's the traction that we have. So I don't know. I think that's
almost
pretty.
Sounded like Bill Cosby. And allows it to suction to the road.
I'm gonna throw a pudding cup at your face.
Why would you do something like that? That's violence. Violence.
A pudding cup to your face.
Violence here.
So anyway, you are listening to In the Know with Cat Bobino, and I'm gonna be really, really honest with you. Like I was so enthralled about this topic when it came with Pink and the students. That's really what I wanted to talk about, but I didn't have a guest, and so I pulled these two people, friends and loved ones, in at the last minute. So I mean, tonight's really about to be about shenanigans.
Water.
Yeah. I wish we can bring the camera closer so you can see in that cup.
Oh, see, now you busted me. It's water.
It has a water base.
It's colored.
It has a water base, is what I would say. Right?
It's something like water. Something like water.
Right. Okay, so
see, I threw that back. I threw it back though.
All right. I mean, but anyway, I want to thank everyone who's joining us on Facebook Live. But Steve wanted to add that it's the grooves in the tire that allows movement of water while you're driving.
Come on, Steve. Thank you, Steve.
Yeah. Isn't that awesome?
That was cool.
Right?
Yeah. Right on, Steve.
That I'm all about that. If you got something you want to talk about, or you comment in, or you want to bring up or questions, just join in, send a message, let me know. But we are tonight's really about shenanigans. I really wish that you guys was here earlier. There was a dance party. There was some music playing. Actually, I was the only person dancing, to be honest. But
we could say this is the STEM table because you're science.
Yes.
Right. I'm technology.
Yes.
Like a lot about like credit reports stuff. So he's math.
Listen,
and then it's the engineering that we're doing. See how I just threw
I
it together?
see that.
Man,
I like that.
I
like that.
Man,
although I was gonna say you were engineering, because engineering, the music, the sound, all that, doesn't that fall under engineering?
Yeah, but I'm still doing engineering technology. So I'm kind of like two.
You like two?
Yes.
S and M. I mean, okay, not in that. Okay, I'm TE.
Okay. So let's fix it.
Let's go STEM.
Right.
That worked.
Okay.
Because see where your mind just went.
Me? You the one who fixed it. No one said anything.
I seen the look on your face.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Throw it at me.
Yeah.
Yes.
I met you yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Asante. Today is a science fun day.
Great.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Great water. But they never, when I was in school, I thought science is something that they just made you take.
Yes.
And then you notice, when you got older, how much, if you would have paid attention to science class, you would have been, oh, man.
How much better off you would be.
Right.
Yes.
Because, I was listening to, when you brought up language, right?
Uh-huh.
We had the KRS-One had came to my son's school when he was in, middle school.
Mm-hmm.
Came to Edna Bureau, right? And he said that he was in French class, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not paying attention, clowning this and that, because he was like, I'm never going to need French. And then he became a rapper, started traveling the world, and went to France. And he said that he had to pay an interpreter like a couple of $100 a day
to
interpret. When he said all I had to do was pay attention and kept his bread, because he said they was over there like 2 weeks. Right? And he was like, I could have kept all this bread in my pocket if I would have just paid attention in class.
Yeah, he could have.
So now I'm trying to take Mandarin. I ain't got patience though. But I'm like, language is so important now.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is.
Because you could be anywhere, you just hear a different language and you just want to I want to know what they say. But see, I'm kind of weird. So I'll learn Dutch when you'll never use Dutch. But then 5 years from now,
you'll need to know Dutch.
You're going to need to know Dutch. You know what I mean?
It's just goes back to, because me and Kat have a conversation quite a bit about what if we had kids now, what school will we put our kids in, and what language will we want them to learn? But Kat has this very, very, very accurate description of what language is for what now these days.
Okay, thank you for putting me on the spot. So when I say this, I want to preface by saying I don't mean to offend anyone. This is my thought process. Disclaimer, right?
This disclaimer is sponsored by Tide. Go ahead.
I wish. I mean, Tide, if you would like to, that would be amazing. But if you look at the world and the way the world is going, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. And again, this is only opinion. But if you want to work with money, you need to know Mandarin.
Right.
Because a lot of I don't know, I don't know where everyone is tuning in. In fact, why don't you guys just write in, send us a note, just tell me where you're tuning in from. But with
a lot of Oakland.
Yeah, right.
I know some of these people.
Right. But Oakland is like, if you look at the Coliseum and all that stuff is owned by major Asian companies.
Yes, it is.
They just have an English name for us to look at.
Right.
But a lot of the big things that's out here and a lot of things downtown Oakland for sure, a lot of that is owned by an Asian culture, mostly Chinese or Mandarin speaking people.
Yes, man.
So if you want to do business or anything with money, you need to know Mandarin. If you want to do anything as far as managing people outside of what 45 is doing right now, you need to know Spanish.
Yes.
There's so many Spanish speaking people here that if you want to be a manager or be above, it's great to know Spanish.
Yes, it is. Bilingual.
If you want to do anything big in tech, it's good to know Japanese.
Yes.
Because I'm going to tell you, we have some great phones, Samsung and Apple alike, or I'll say Android and Apple alike, but I'm a Samsung person. Our stuff ain't nothing on what's going on in Japan. They phones are surpassed us on top of other things that has to do with technology.
Yes.
I remember years ago watching, I used to be really into A Birth Story. It was all about women giving birth, but it was one that it was like New Year's and they were talking about giving birth around the world. And this was years ago. But what they do in Japan is they dim the lights. They have light music playing and they have a TV up there where you're watching, like, I don't know, a wind in the flowers or some shit, right? But it calms the mom down.
Is this like Demolition Man or something like this? Like
this is true
put
story.
On a helmet or something.
It's a true story. Like, and they've been doing that forever,
really?
So that the birth is not chaotic. Like, if you watch A Birth Story in America, you're gonna see a woman screaming, just in pain and pushing and all this other stuff. But then when you see it in Japan, it's calm. They do everything in order to make the mother calm. Like, when I tell you the tech has surpassed us, it's surpassed us.
That is off the chain.
Now, if you into science, I say German or French, because the super collider is in, I want to say it's in Europe somewhere. I think it's in Germany, but they're doing all these amazing things in science in France and in Germany, right? And then there's so many other languages. There's a million languages out there, but those are the top languages I would say at this point. If I had a kid, it'd be Mandarin and Spanish.
Yes.
I try. I can order food really well in Spanish. That's about it. But I hate like when I'm speaking my best Spanish and then they answer me in English. Is that for here to go? I hate that.
Because you practice.
I've been practicing.
You're trying.
I'm practicing. But some people, when you learn languages, they appreciate it. Like
yes.
I got Mandarin in my car, right?
See.
And I'm always listening to it. So when I had this this Asian supermarket down the street from where I used to live, and I go there, all the time because they got the best prices on fruits and vegetables.
They do. I've been there.
Fish. But when I speak Mandarin, they look at me like they're surprised, but then they appreciate it.
Yes, they do.
They're like, okay, so now they know they can't talk about me because I might know what they're saying. But that's not the point. But I'm telling you, people appreciate other languages. I mean, they really do, though. Yeah. But the thing about it is, I think that, we do need to learn more languages because it's a trip to where you have like people from other cultures that know other languages. I mean, like you hear, like I know a lot of Indian cats, and they speak Spanish like fluently.
fluent.
You know, or French.
Mhm.
But they said, like, back in the day when I was in school, they said if you know Spanish, it's not that difficult to learn French and I think Italian.
But it's true. Like, I studied French when I was in high school, and when you go to make the comparison in regards to the language, the enunciation of the language and how one reads it, it's almost identical. It's just the phonetic difference that we say.
Right.
But to me, when learning different languages and trying to learn different languages, the hardest language to ever learn is English. Because when you stop and think about it, let's just say
We got words for everything.
we get words for everything, and we use one word in multiple different ways depending on what we're talking about.
Right.
But I'll never forget this whooping I got for phone.
Okay.
I got the worst whooping for phone because when they say spell it phonetically, sounds like F.
Right.
So I spelled it with an F. And my mom lost her wig on that. Because she kept saying, you know it's PH. You said spell it phonetically. Why should we have two letters form one sound
Right.
when we could just use that one letter that already has that sound?
Right. And some languages don't have that.
No, they do not.
You know, like I think in Mandarin, they don't have a and the. You know what I
But
mean?
you know what, though? In Mandarin, it's the inflection.
Yes.
that's
So
true.
it's
Yes,
four
yes.
inflections, right? It's ma, ma, ma. And they all
It's
mean
five.
something. It's I think it's four. I don't know.
Ma.
Ma. Yeah, but they all mean something else. And it's the same two letters. It's ma,
Yeah.
ma, ma. You know, and it's like, oh, so
That's cool though.
that's how we about to roll.
Yeah.
So you got the same word four
It's
times.
a question word.
Yeah,
Ma.
it's hard.
Yes.
I tried to like one semester of Mandarin.
See, now going back to our original topic, this is why a humanoid robot would be helpful for me, because I don't have to worry about a human judging me. I could just talk to this robot and she or he would correct me in regards to my.
Well, the thing is like you're programming this robot.
I know.
Right? So you get the opportunity to program this language in while learning the language.
This
right?
is true.
And I think this is something I'm really proud or happy that they're doing in Australia, and I wish they would bring it here.
Yes.
You know, because we were talking before you joined us. Me and Tavare were talking.
She said like I interrupted.
You did.
Yeah, before you joined us.
Still about, you know, our ancestral language is lost. You know, we have no clue. And I would be surprised if it wasn't some Native American languages being lost currently. So to bring right, to bring a robot into the culture and teaching, because in South Australia, they're not just teaching the Narungga students the language, they're teaching all the students the language. So if we can do that here and teach all of our students language that way, you know, and teach them a dying language like Native American, that would be amazing.
Just looking out of the window, watching the I just good times just popped in my head.
How did good times pop into your head
no
about
idea.
this? How, Sway? How?
We got Fo in the house, and Deshaun, my cousin, and he's going to be joining us doing a podcast. He's going to be doing his own podcast called Cognac Confessionals.
Okay.
And we're gonna it's coming up soon. I've been trying to get this cat on the air forever, but it's coming up soon. So he's gonna join our VJTV podcast family.
Evening.
Welcome, Deshaun. I mean, it's a party now. Sure.
Yeah, real talk.
I mean, if y'all know where the studio is, y'all might as well stop by because this is a party.
And bring
That's what we
something.
do.
Oh yeah, bring something. It's only a very little bit left
But
here.
These
so.
are these two people right here are the launch of what we're going to be doing down here, because we're going to be bringing a lot of live podcasts to you. So we launched it with Kat, and I always call it She Blinded Me with Science, but it's called In the Know with Kat Bobino. She Blinded Me with Science is just my thing, because that was one of my favorite songs, you know what I'm saying, back in the 80s. So we launched it with Kat.
But we don't want anybody suing us
we're not,
from that title.
Don't even worry about that.
Okay, because
They're
that's
not.
why I'm
It's like it's a statement.
Okay,
She
yes.
blinded me with science.
Absolutely.
She blinded me with science.
Right.
And then we're bringing on Cognac Confessionals, which is the total opposite
Very much.
of what we're going to be doing on In the Know with Kat Bobino. So right now,
So
we
this
got
show has
Sean.
turned into a commercial, but go ahead, Sean. Let us know what your podcast is about.
Hey, how y'all doing? Well, I'll be doing interviews, sitting down, chopping it up with artists, people in the industries, business owners, giving them a platform to come out and express what they have going on. My first show is I'll have my brother J.D. Stewart, Stygian Bourbon and Cigars, first black-owned bourbon company. So he'll be my first guest. Even though it's Cognac Confessionals, we're going to have a bourbon kick on this first one. So, we're going to sit down, we're going to break bread and talk about the business, all his business ventures, what he has coming on. I know he has a lot of investments and things going on. So we're going to tap into that, tap into my brother's mind and spread knowledge to the world.
So when is that going to be?
That is Friday.
What time?
Friday, 6:00.
All right.
Everything's at 6. Well, you're at 6:30.
6:30. It started because I get off work and then I got to do this, make my face pretty. So that's why I got pushed to 6:30.
So you already heard him practicing the voice.
I did.
Yeah, we're gonna be you understand me.
No.
Straight R&B.
Yeah,
Straight R&B.
yeah,
Straight R&B.
I'm
So he's gonna be getting into people's businesses basically in layman's terms.
just gonna say I might stop by because
have
I've
you
actually no, I'm talking about this Friday. I've tasted that bourbon.
Yeah.
It's good.
I know.
Is he bringing samples?
We got that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I might be here. I might be here on that.
Might be
Friday.
a little parched that day.
Yeah.
Might
I'm
be a
gonna
little-
make sure I'm
thirsty.
thirsty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's bruh. So
How did you come up with this concept called Cognac Confessionals?
Well, for y'all that don't know, many years ago, me, Rocke, and the few here at the studio, we used to have a show called Cocktail Hour.
Yep.
Where we used to sit around live, and we basically drinking and chopping up about anything. So
What's the show that they got now? It's called
Drink Champs.
Drink Champs.
Yeah.
We were on 10 years
Okay.
before Drink Champs.
So yeah.
10 years. I'm just letting y'all know we don't bite.
Yeah. So I've been milling around with different ideas of what I wanted to do, and it's either keep procrastinating or jump into it. So
Sometimes you just gotta jump in feet first.
yeah. So that's what's up. I'm finna. Hopefully people tune in. We get I got a bunch of people that say they want to be on the podcast, so I'm gonna line it up. We're gonna get it going.
How often do you think you're gonna do it?
Probably weekly or bi-weekly.
Okay. Well, here at Where Media Meets and with our group, our partiers, we do like to support each other. This is a lot of Black people doing amazing Black things, and so we're not going to shun anybody else, but we like to support our own.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful that Deshaun, stopped by and he's talking about his podcast and what he's doing. And, Rocke's here and he's letting us use his studio. So that's
rent here. So yeah.
so
I'm here. Yes.
So he's always here actually, but he's not always on camera.
Episode of Cognac Confessionals too. You already know.
Absolutely. I'm going to try not to drink too much because I don't want to tell y'all all my business. So,
she don't want to be.
I don't need y'all knowing everything about me. There's some secrets
And
that
Bill
we like
Nye
to keep.
came up to me and he said, "Yeah, we don't want to know everything."
Yeah.
Bill Nye was rude to me when I met him.
And
He wasn't rude. Let me rephrase.
this is a reunion of sorts because we all play dominoes online with each other.
Yes.
I'm whooping them too. Yeah.
What did you just say?
I'm handing out FAWs.
So I'm gonna share this screenshot that I took.
When all else fails, go to the screen.
I'm gonna share this screenshot that I took of this game that we play.
You winning right now on that one game.
And so yes,
Okay.
they get mad at me.
I beat her a couple of times.
All right. A broke clock is right twice a day.
Right. And y'all win about twice a month. But
Wow. Okay.
But I love y'all. And we play not just online, but we play, in person too. And I'll whoop your ass in person too.
See how she doing?
See, that's what I'm talking about. See, that's why I don't like playing with Cat. Cat just don't play fair, dude. She be like coming up with like scientific ways of like, okay, I know this cat got this, and the way he drew that was this one. I know he got this in his hand. That's why I don't play with Cat.
That's not true. Listen, I win, I lose. We just it's all in fun. We have a good
Oh,
time.
you admitting that you lose now?
Rarely, but yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all we need. That's all we need.
I got screenshots too. I've seen.
We win, we lose, we have fun. Okay.
Yeah,
True that.
we have a ball, especially here at Where Media Meets, because like it's cliche to say family, but you'll see the same people all the time every time you come here.
Pretty
You see the
much.
same people all the time.
Pretty much.
No new. We don't like new people.
Right.
Yeah, everybody down here does stuff. Like you'll never come down here and people is like in misery. We don't allow that down here.
No.
So everybody that's down here wants to do things, and they're here for a reason.
All right. I'm just going to say, Santi, she said, thank you, Kat and guys. It was great. Until next time. So thank you for tuning in.
Appreciate it.
But yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's all good. So we'll see you Friday at 6.
Friday at 6. Are you going to be Facebook Live too, or just the podcast?
I'll probably live it maybe.
Ducky. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to have it going.
All right.
Just stay tuned. Tune in.
Right.
More to come.
That would be lovely. Yeah, I think I'm gonna come. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be here already.
Yeah, you pay the rent here. You're the reason why we're here.
No, don't say that. Yeah, no, don't say that. Yeah, no, don't say that. No, you're the reason I do what I do. That's how you flip it.
Oh, okay. You're the reason for the season.
Yeah, you're the reason.
You're the reason why we come here, and you're the reason that I get to have this awesome platform talking about science, tech, engineering, and math. So,
Deshaun, before you go, do you have a science question?
A science question. How many miles is the Earth away from the sun?
Hell, I don't know.
Okay.
Let me Google that shit. A lot. I can tell you it takes what? I think it takes 8 minutes for a photon from the sun to get to Earth. I can tell you that.
Okay. What speed is that?
The speed of light? Shit, what is that? I don't know, but it's the speed of light.
Yeah.
So fast.
Light.
Superman fast. And it takes 8 minutes for the photon from the sun to get to Earth.
Yeah, and if you look at the degree marks of the pyramids, it equals to the same as the speed of light, but that's above y'all pay grade.
That's pretty good.
That's above my pay grade for sure.
Man, I ain't know nothing about that.
I don't know nothing.
Yeah,
I'm bowing out of that one.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
Just looking out of the window. Well, I had to bring that back.
But why is Good Times on your mind right now?
I don't know. Good Times is like one of my favorite theme songs.
Mm.
Because the only thing I can say in key is temporary layoffs. That's
Good
it.
Times.
That's all I can say. So if the song don't have temporary layoffs in it, I can't sing.
Okay.
But it was one of my favorite theme songs. Depressing ass show,
Yes.
but it was one of my.
Yes.
Okay. On Good Times. The reason why I stopped watching Good Times a long time ago is they had one episode where James found this money and he gave it back.
Yeah.
Sorry. Because remember his wife was like, she was feeling all guilty because he kept the money. Look, I don't care how much you go to church. You have a husband with a 6th grade education.
Yes.
You live in the projects.
Green.
And Cabrini Green, some of the worst projects in America, and you find all this money and you give it back, man, give me a break with that one.
Trina says you watch it late at night.
Well, the episodes before that one. The episodes before that one. When it gets to that episode, I stop. I watch everything before that episode.
Gotcha.
But I don't know. Good Times. I mean, Thelma's still Thelma.
Yeah.
Have you seen Thelma?
She looks good.
Thelma's still Thelma.
So that's how we gonna speak. Just say her name over and over again.
That was in one of the episodes. See, you put a good time. Pay attention. That's how you say it. Thelma. That's how you gotta say it.
So was that episode before or after Penny?
That episode was that when JJ and them bought the car? When he had the awesome foursome?
No idea.
I think that was after
Couldn't
Penny.
tell you.
After Penny joined the cast.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the awesome foursome. Yeah, that was one of United we stand, divided we fall. See, you don't even know about that.
I don't. You
Yeah,
you
so-
taking it over
yeah,
my
you-
head.
you
Sorry.
was young, so Okay, we're gonna get off of Good Times and go back. What is the science of Good Times? I'm sorry, that was a horrible segue, but never mind.
Right. It was. It was a good show. Now, I will say this. This was back when if you had a TV show about a family, it looked like a family.
Right.
You know, now they have all these very fit families and very, I don't know what else to say.
I don't know, because some of the ones just like the husband's kind of like a slob and the woman's always
like model-esque.
Yeah. She's always the one that takes over everything, and the man's never right about anything. Even when he's right, he's never right. You know what I mean? And then the kids are like, you know, you got all these sassy kids that talk back to their parents, which that never happened on Good Times. Never.
It never would happen on Good Times.
No, one time when JJ tried to he was defending Thelma when she wanted to get married, and then he didn't back down from James. James was gonna knock him through a wall. You know what I'm saying? But gone are the days of the good fathers on TV.
You know what though? I did like what was it? My Wife and Kids.
Oh yeah.
My Wife and Kids with the Wayne. I forgot which Wayne it is.
Damon.
Okay. He was a pretty good father. Now he didn't back down.
I didn't watch that.
Okay, I heard you the first time. You didn't watch it. Cool. I watched it. Some episodes. It's good.
Have you seen the little girl from My Wife and Kids? She's on this show called is it on B? What is it on BET? We just watched like the whole season.
I have no idea.
On Netflix
What's
or
it
Amazon
about?
Prime or something like that. Black people. And
that doesn't tell me anything, but okay.
Is it Dear White People?
Nah, it wasn't Dear White People. It's something.
People
It's like some big drama. It's got Lauren London is on it.
That's still not telling me anything.
Yeah, well, you just look it up then. Just look up Lauren London's.
I don't want to, but okay.
It's actually a pretty good show.
Okay.
But the little girl from there is on there, and she's like unrecognizable.
Well, let me ask y'all a question then. Why is it that you do not see women?
What's happening? Part of Digital Underground.
Okay,
folks.
All right, thank you for joining.
He used to bring me a lot of interviews back in the day too, man. He used to bring me Raw Fusion, cats like that, Tupac, the whole 9 yards. Sleuth is my man, and he also wrote a book.
Okay, Sleuth, welcome. Come be on the show. But I want to ask y'all, why do you think you don't see a lot of women or people of color in science doing good things on television?
Well, you see women doctors a lot.
On what? Don't say Married to Medicine.
No, you got like the doctors and this and that. You see,
that's why I said don't say that.
No, you see I've seen a lot of national shows with women doctors on it.
Okay. MDs, that's great.
Yeah.
Shout out to MDs. But what about scientists?
I haven't seen science really being promoted like that.
It used to be. When I was growing up, it was Bill Nye. It was 3-2-1 Blast Off. It was
Right, it was that.
Beekman's Lab,
Contact.
So it's 3-2-1. Yeah.
I watched all that.
All that. But now we don't promote science like that anymore, especially to our youth, but we definitely don't do it with women and people of color.
I used to watch the Magic School Bus.
That I still actually have some Magic School Bus books, if you believe it or not.
Wow.
I love the Magic School Bus.
Well, won't you bring it back though? Won't you bring back like Cat?
It's a cartoon, so
Cat,
I have
science.
to. Well, you remember they were gonna do. I can't remember. It was one of those girls from. It was one of those from Saturday Night Live. She was in the new Ghostbusters. I don't know her name, but she was supposed to do
Leslie
a live
Jones.
act. No,
not Leslie.
No, it was a white woman, but she was supposed to do a live action The Magic School Bus.
Oh.
But I haven't seen it. And they had revamped the Magic School Bus. You know how Miss Frizzle has the crazy curly hair?
Right.
They revamped the cartoon. It was supposed to be like her little sister or something. She had straight red hair. But that didn't work. And I still haven't seen the live action. I would love to bring back the Magic School Bus. I don't know if it'd be cartoon, live action, or what. But yeah, I mean, I think that's amazing.
Yeah, they got the live action of Dora the Explorer, which I'm going to see. Yeah.
Kudos.
I was a big Dora the Explorer fan for some.
Well, if there's anyone who's listening to the podcast or watching Facebook Live that is interested in revamping the Magic School Bus with a beautiful host.
Get you ain't got no patience.
What are you talking about?
Patience for no kids.
I don't. But I don't. Tiana, she
Why
said,
does this tree grow? Look it up.
Water. You put water in it and you leave it in the
Look
corner.
it up.
That's
Don't you
not
got a
how
phone?
I talk to children most of the time. Tiana said there aren't very many women surgeons. Actually, that's very true. You know how many Black people are in medicine? 2%. 2% of American doctors are African American.
But you also got to remember when they took off Bill Cosby, when that show went off, we did not have another model to follow. Everything else was entertainment.
That's true.
Tavare is speaking from outside. I don't know if anyone can hear what he's just said, but he said when he took off shows like Bill Cosby or The Cosby Show, we lost the moniker of people we want to watch and be and become.
All right, and you got the system now that's set up on everybody got to be a basketball bird, or
Comedian.
You see the lane that they try to put you in, but that would be good to have a show or more references of us out in science and doctors. I've seen posts where they've shown a whole class of graduating doctors, and the whole stairwell is full of melanated people. And that's a beautiful thing.
But if they ain't fighting each other or at the club, making it rain, ain't nobody gonna watch the show.
Exactly.
Well, here's the thing. So, I mean, that circles back to social media, right? I can put it. I have put a picture of me in a swimsuit, right? Over 100+ likes. I say, hey, I'm about to do this STEM related thing. 2 likes. Right? 2. Yeah. I say, hey, I'm serious. And I have seen people, unfortunately, I saw someone, there was a white party. Everybody didn't look good in their white, not gonna lie. People sharing it. They want to laugh at it. I see people sharing fight videos. I see people sharing, when we look our worst.
How many people
and then
see the
I
Disneyland
say
video? The people
the
fighting.
exactly the Disneyland video, the family that fought that.
How many people did you tell, hey man, did you see the Disneyland? Yeah.
Right.
But
then, you not just me, because I'm not the only person doing this. There's a multitude of people I know who are talking about STEM, and then they post and say, hey, I'm doing this program for students, or I'm promoting this opportunity. 3 likes, no shares. You know what I'm saying? So why are we, especially people of color, don't want to share the positive that we are doing in the community?
Because everybody wants to be the butt of the joke and wants to have the instant laugh or the look at this. They don't want to put in the hard work that it takes to reach those plateaus.
Right.
Everybody wants instant microwave popcorn. Nobody wants to sit back, get the pan, put the oil in the pan, heat the pan up, put the popcorn seeds in, put the top on, do this, and let it pop. Nobody wants to do that no more.
Right. But then,
unfortunately,
that was good. That was a good analogy.
Nobody wants to do that.
Lie.
Nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants instant gratification, instant success. And unfortunately, with social media and television and movies, the platform we're given is you got to be ratchet. You got to be a basketball bird wife. You got to be ratchet. You got to be all these negatives.
You got to be half naked.
That too. I mean, yeah. That's and unfortunately.
Let's be real.
Okay. Good water.
But the thing about it, the problem is, you don't have to make the popcorn. The popcorn's already made. Just share it. And they don't want to share it.
Exactly.
Why? Why do you think it is that, it's already done for you? This has already been written out. It's already a program. I'm not even saying buy anything, but just share.
It's the crab in the barrel syndrome.
Tavare, you are off mic.
It's the crab in the barrel syndrome. We don't want anybody else to succeed if it's not us. So anything positive, why share it? That means that I'm giving you glory. But if it's something about demeaning our race or another individual, we are all for that. When you think of the news will go find the worst educated beautiful melon person out there to say, this is how we look to them.
Right.
And we will accept it. I argue all the time. Why they gotta go find the worst of the worst?
The worst of the worst.
Especially on a news story.
Yeah. Right.
And then half the time that person wasn't even near the event. But we accept it and allow it.
Right.
Where when you got people that want to do great, scientists, entrepreneurs, we don't talk about them, nor do we advertise them at all.
We don't.
We keep them in our pocket. That's our secret.
Exactly. Same way that you can have a conglomerate of homies that y'all all sit here and do different things.
Right.
And we'll all be down to go to the club for the weekend or Vegas for a few days to go blow some money, but let two of us say, hey man, let's just put this money to the side and go invest in and do this. And now all of a sudden everybody is but that's what the other ones do.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
We don't do it.
We don't.
We're conditioned to, like you said, crabs in the barrel and hate ourselves. And you got to remember who taught you to hate yourself.
Right.
Talk on it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Talk on it.
That does make sense.
I mean, so my guest last week was someone who was all about natural hair. Her name's Tiffany Anderson, and I've been reading her book. She has a book out, and she's been talking about how we talk about nappy, kinky hair, and it's not nappy, it's not kinky, it's curly. Yeah. You know, it's just a thick curl, but it's the way we're taught to dismiss our curl, to dismiss our natural beauty, right? And so we walk around talking, oh my God, look at this kitchen. It's nappy. It's horrible. Or we are so quick to talk about somebody else. Like I say to people all the time, especially Tavare, I say, look, I can cure cancer tomorrow. Yep. Somebody on social media gonna hate. Of course. They're gonna hate on everything that I've done. They're gonna try and look at my past. They're gonna try and find some old tweets. I just cured cancer. And you mad at me. Mm-hmm. It's just, the thing is, you're not mad at me. You're mad at yourself. Yeah. Right. You're disappointed in yourself. You're disappointed in what you're doing. But I digress. The thing is, what gets me is I had a great opportunity to go to New Zealand last year with School of Rocke for free. I had a great opportunity to sail on a research boat in Alaska with stem seeds for free. And I'm sharing these opportunities out on social media, and I'm telling you, 2 likes, no shares. And it's like, what? I'm trying to open these doors, not just for you, but for your children.
No, when you get famous, then they're gonna say they know you. I knew her when she. Yeah. And you know, and the funny thing about it is, like, when you make your money and you're doing your thing, people always want to go back to the negative. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, say you fat pockets the whole nine, you living good and all that. Man, I remember you when you was broke. So what, dude? I'm not broke now. Right. Why would you bring that up? Man, you used to eat my top ramen. So what? Yes. I'm not broke now. Yeah. And they always go back to the negative because they think that's trying to keep you humble. Yes. Brothers is humble now. Like when you get older, you know how to keep money. Yes. Yeah. Like when we was younger, you blow money. That's what you do. Yeah. But once you get older, you know how to keep money. Yes. Not broke now.
I mean, even look at this, that we've been talking about all kinds of things today. You know, we talked about a robot. We've been having fun. Like I said earlier, shenanigans. I think we got up to like 8 views. We talk about something honest, right? Mm-hmm. It's down to 3. 3. Y'all stop listening and watching because we
want the train wreck.
Yeah. They do.
You're right.
They do. They want the train wreck. They don't want to actually think, and they don't want to see you succeed, like you said.
And maybe I should have threw a drink in your face or something like that, and that'd have got us something.
That would have got some views.
You know, what's also wrong with people is opportunity is usually disguised as hard work. Therefore, the ordinary fail to recognize it.
That's real. I love the way you put that. I love the way you put that. Because that is so true.
It's confused, bruh. Like Fuchsias.
Right.
I gotta write these things.
Them philologies. You know,
the philologies.
Don't worry, we taping this. So.
Yeah, real talk.
Right? You'll be able to go back.
I need them philologies.
Right.
I tell people stagnant water is only good for mosquitoes and disease.
Yep.
Damn. Okay,
that's real.
That's sad. Yeah. That's insane. I mean,
but that's why people don't get invited to the party. It's like, man, why y'all invite me? Because you're not on that level, dude.
Let me tell you, I'm not gonna call her out because that's not what I'm gonna do. But I was talking to an African American woman who has a very, very, very prominent nonprofit in tech, and I was like, "How did you get here? How did you get to this level?" And she was like, "I had to work with white people because my people was holding me down." They wasn't there. They wasn't support. In order to get to that next level, she had to start partnering with white people. I mean, and I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've gone to some of my friends' events, I've supported different people in different things, and then I turn around and be like, invite you to my event, and you're a no-show. Yeah. I've never seen you at one event. One. And these are my people. The people I see at my events are people who don't look like me. Yeah. The person, one of the ladies who has pushed me the most is white. And I love her to death. I love her. She's an amazing woman. But I'm like, well, dang, how come I can't have someone who look like me who wants to support me?
Because once again, you can have 2 eggs that grow, hatch, 2 chicks growing, progressing in life. One stagnant, the other one keeps going. This one is going to feel resentment. And they don't want to help you. Because then it means they have to admit their failures, which failure is nothing but the opportunity to restart.
Right.
That's all failure is.
Yes. Yeah, we're taping this. I got all this.
Yeah.
Right.
You know. This is good.
Because like the guy, the colonel who started KFC, that didn't blow up until he was in his like 80s, 90s.
But he didn't start that.
I know that. But what I'm saying is the recipe he used, recipe he took and promoted, didn't actually get footing until he was an old man.
Exactly.
And that's because he got a lot of no's before he actually got a yes.
Right. It takes perseverance, tenacity, and the willpower. You got to be disciplined. I tell people discipline means discipline. Yeah. Stick to it.
That's true. Yep. You gotta keep doing your thing, because some people get distracted because they got so many things going on, and then you're like, okay, let me see what I can do with this. Yeah. And once I do that, then I can do other things, or you can find something you get at, or some people get one-tracked. Like, you might want to do this, but you might be good at that. Yes. So I'm like, hey, if this is going to get you there, let that get you there, and then you can come back and revisit this. Like I always say all the time that Eddie Murphy is always talking about, he was a singer, and remember his first album, and he was doing stuff like that, but he made his money in comedy to where he could be like, I can make an album. Yes. And if this album don't do nothing, don't do nothing. I got my comedy career to fall back on. You know what I mean? And that's what I tell people all the time. I was like, man, if you have a gift of something, don't hide it because you're like, well, that's not really what I want to do. Go ahead, do that. Yes. Make your money off of that, and whatever you wanted to do in the first place, you can always revisit that. This is true. But do what's going to get you out there. And once that gets you out there, then you can do whatever you want to do. You know what I mean?
Yes. And then I like that we get into this habit of we want help a certain way. Right. And we have to accept help the way help will come. And sometimes help is critiquing to help you become better at what you do. Or not just giving you the funds to do what you want to do, but showing you how you can make the funds while you learn to do what you want to do.
Right. And people always talk about white folks this, white folks that. See, if you're good at what you do, white folks don't care what color you are. They just want the work that you promised them that you can do. Like me doing video production. Trust me, we've had a lot of clients. And white folks is like, we tell them, like, if they want a certain project, we tell them, okay, for your budget, this is what we can give you. They're fine with that. We say, well, we can tack on a little extra. We're good. Okay, cool. You want to tack on the extra? That's fine. All we want is what you said that you can do. I've had black clients that spend a tenth of the money but want all that other stuff. And they want to go, y'all tripping, y'all too high. No, we're not. But I can't, if I did all the stuff that you wanted me to do for that little bit of money that you want to pay me, then when you get real money, you go to spend it to somebody else, because that's happened to us several times.
Right.
True. You know what I'm saying? They got real money now,
Everybody want the
and then they want the hookup, and then they go to somebody else. Like, and then I hate it when when a lot of people used to come at us talking about, yeah, well, a white man, no, dude, it's like this. A company is a company.
Yeah.
So you just can't go, you get better work from white people. That's bullshit.
It is. I mean, I used to work for a vet clinic out in Dallas, right? And the guy who ran it, he opened up multitude of vet clinics, right? And he was close to downtown, but wasn't downtown. And his prices were above surrounding areas. And somebody had asked him, like, how are you going to compete? He was like, I do good work.
Mhm.
If I do good work, you're going to pay for it.
Period.
Plain and simple.
Same reason Bentley, Lamborghini don't have commercials.
Right.
That's real. You are so right.
They don't need them.
They don't know.
Because
They don't need
the people that's going to buy that car don't need to
know.
see it on TV.
Right.
They're going there, period.
No,
That's it.
no. All they do is they sponsor their car in a movie. Some sort of action movie or some like James Bond movie. They ride. James Bond gets to ride in that car. Now you've seen it and you wishing on it because the people who bought it is like, done.
Period.
Period.
Yeah, but I mean,
Period. Point blank.
that's the thing, though, because there's like qualified black folks,
Come on.
like there's qualified white folks.
Yes.
And if you working with a black company and y'all not seeing eye to eye, don't just automatically go, I'm just going to the white man, because there's other black companies besides the one that you're working with.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So you can always give another black company a chance versus going, I'm going straight to the white folks. Because I'm going to tell you like this. If you come to us and you pay, if you got like 20 hours worth of budget,
Mm-hmm.
we might give you 25 to 30 hours worth of work.
Mm-hmm.
You go to some of these white folks and you got 20 hours worth of budget, you're going to get 15 to 20 hours worth of work.
Mm-hmm.
Period. If you want anything extra,
It's
nah, man,
constant.
I'm gonna need that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need that,
And they gonna pay.
and they're gonna pay.
Yep.
You're gonna pay that, man, because it's like people. I tell people to come to my studio all the time, see what we got.
Yeah.
I got to do that.
Yeah.
Come here, see what we got, and they could be sitting in my office, look at my work. They want me to show them all of this stuff. I can show them all of this top quality work, and they still like, oh man, I don't know. Let's have another meeting. What you gotta have another meeting for, nigga? You're here now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But then
Mhm.
I might have to cut you off of your water.
yeah, real talk. But I'm saying, you go, white
Nah,
folks
give
can
me
come to
some
you,
water.
and I've seen this happen. I've seen white dudes come in there. They come in shorts.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Mhm.
They might even be late for the meeting. They'll come with something on their phone,
Yep.
show you one clip, and that one clip is gonna sell everything. Sit there and talk to you in technical terms. They know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
No, they just basically jawsed you, and you fell for it.
Yeah.
And they getting all your money. Period.
Mhm.
I'm not talking against white color. I'm just saying there's talented black folks too.
Yes.
I'll stop.
Well, thank you
I
for.
get passionate about that.
Yes,
man.
I
It's
see.
all
I mean,
good.
About black businesses. Trust me.
I get passionate about it too. Like I think I was irritated yesterday
Yes.
morning, right? I saw this video from BBC and it was a white woman talking about, she was on a plane and this guy asked what she did and she said she was a scientist and he was like, oh, you don't look like a scientist. And she was like, oh my goodness, somebody said I don't look like a scientist. How can I change it? And so she started making these pins that you wear on your clothes that literally just said scientist or engineer or whatever you are, and started a small business. And those 50 pins she bought the first month was sold out within that month, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is something that she's only been doing a few years. Her friends buy those pins, support it, probably share it. And I'm like, okay, well, I've been talking about this same thing for like 5 years now. And I have been asking sometimes all I ask for you to do is share on social media. Just share it.
That's
Now,
it.
you don't even have to pay anything.
That's all you
Just
have to do.
share
Mhm.
and nothing. I don't see, I'm hating probably, but I don't see BBC knocking on my door,
He said, I'm hating.
But I'm
That's funny.
very proud of what she's done. But then at the very end of the video, she was like, science isn't just stale old white men. There's women too. And then that was it. And I was like, oh, and people of color. Did you forget that part? Because there's
Right.
people of color too. You didn't want to add?
Mhm.
Okay.
You
We
know,
know it's
y'all
white men.
inclusive?
Yeah, just add,
And smart.
And so I'm just trying to get people to realize that there's a lot of people doing STEM. a lot of diverse people, men and women, and all of these people deserve to have their voices heard.
True that.
You know, and not only do they deserve to have their voices heard, but students who look like them can attribute something to them that they see in themselves, want or need to see it.
Right. And people are surprised because we've worked a couple of events together. And when you get on the stage and you make your speech or you're hosting or something like that, and you say, I am a scientist, people are like, ooh, like it's like super rare. You know what I mean? And I've seen that happen a few times, and it was funny, especially with kids. Like Kat was like, what do I do? And they get all these different things. She said, I'm a scientist. And they go, you're a scientist.
Right.
It's hilarious to me.
I get, I'll be in front of a bunch of kids, and the teacher or the person in charge will say, what do you think she do? First thing is fashion, cosmetology, hair, model. Okay. Well, model. And, but the thing is, it's like, that's where our kids go to. But then who's teaching them that?
Television, the iPod,
the parents,
YouTube,
all
Google.
that. That's the first. You're an influencer, and it's like, no, you don't think lawyer, pilot, you don't think judge, you don't think scientist, engineer. Why? Why is it students that see me and see what I look like and maybe see pink hair doesn't automatically assume a profession like that? I'm not hating on the other professions, but why is it that our kids, especially, first thing they say is something with hair, or clothes, or sports?
That's all.
Or entertainment.
That's all they're conditioned to see.
True.
Subconsciously. That's all they're conditioned to see. So that'll be the first response.
So maybe you should come out with like a reality show with like some scientists that like go to clubs.
And don't have no fighting scenes and nothing like that.
Just a couple of fighting scenes. Like y'all could be arguing over like, equals MC squared. Equals MC squared. And then you throw a drink in their face and then it just blows up. And on the next episode, come on. That wouldn't be a good show.
No.
You get people watching though.
Yes. You would get people watching, but no. I mean, I had somebody who
boo. Boo. Boo.
I had somebody who was like, hey, I want you to do I'm gonna film your show, pay for it. I want you to do a shopping montage with my daughters. And then we're going to put you in a dress and heels and makeup and all that beautifulness. And then go in a lab and do a science project. And I was like, that sounds nice. But do you understand what a lab coat's function is for? You don't wear a nice dress and heels into a lab. That's what you don't do. The lab coat is to cover up the clothes that you don't mind getting messed up, typically, in the lab, because you don't know what's going to happen, especially if you're mixing chemicals or something like that. And then you're telling me this whole shopping montage and clothes and beauty act for your young daughters is what you're mostly focused on. You're mostly focused on that. You didn't even ask what science experiment. The whole thing he talked about was the shopping montage, the makeup, the clothes, the hair, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yeah, that's what you should do. And I was like, I get laughed out of the science community wearing heels and a dress and all this makeup into a lab. Do you know some makeup is flammable? So that shit is not okay.
I still like the fighting scientist with the drinking.
I'm not doing that. I'm not even gonna entertain you anymore. Back to you, Deshaun.
Yes.
No fighting. It's a good show. You get people watching it.
I mean, that's why. This
girl, she a biologist, right? She a biologist, but she wear her hair right pink, right? And then she was in a club, and then old girl tried to get at her, you know what I'm saying? And then like you know what I'm saying? She was talking about how ugly her stethoscope was. Come on, man, that would be funny. Two girls in the lab fighting.
And some Visine.
Let me correct some things here.
Oh no, see, y'all wouldn't be throwing drinks. Y'all be throwing like beakers or something like that. That would be dope. Come on, man.
A stethoscope is what an MD wears.
A test tube, like, come on, y'all gotta do something. That would be dope, though.
We will not be the next Married to Medicine.
Yeah, that show is trash.
Okay.
You got all these beautiful people of color doctors that are acting like the most ratchetness ever.
But it would be funny.
Would it though?
I just
Would it be funny?
It would be hilarious.
What
I'm not
would
saying
be,
do it, but it would be funny.
what would be funny about it?
Scientists fighting? Come on, man. That would be a funny skit. A scientist.
That could be a Saturday Night Live. They're gonna probably steal it now that I said it, but
that would be dope though. That would
Right.
that would be dope.
the time the scientists took over.
But you're right though. We need, like, now STEM is beginning to be big. Like everybody's
Right.
in the STEM now.
Big Bang Theory helped that,
Yeah.
although it's still white guys.
Yeah, because people are trying to get scholarships for their kids. But
Yes.
I don't blame them. That's right. Oh, I seen the pictures. He was such a proud dad.
Yeah.
He was putting together his project.
Oh yeah, he put his own gaming computer together by himself.
Yeah, I saw that.
Bought all the parts, everything, put it together, and it's working. Downloaded his operating system. He's playing Fortnite.
I ain't mad at him.
Hey, you know one thing,
There you go.
I work with a lot with African American male achievement, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they had hosted a spring symposium.
At Chabot, right?
No, they did it like, it was like over 2 or 3 days. They invited teachers from other states and stuff to come out here to see what they were doing with African American male achievement. And one year they had these cats from like DC or something like that, right? I didn't know that a majority of those cats was like in STEM, right? So it was this one dude, right? He was just real kind of street, you know what I'm saying? He was dressed nice, you know, shirt, tie, or whatever, but he was like real street. And we went to visit Oakland Tech, and we were in one of the science labs or something like that, and there was like this big math equation on the board. And dude was like straight breaking it down. Like he just walked straight to the board. He was like, okay, this right here is this. It was like an engineering project, and he just broke it down. And I sat there impressed.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, people just don't know that these cats right here are brilliant.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I was like, I almost had a tear in my eye. I just sat there and just filmed dude for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was just incredible to me. I was like, this dude is smart. And all of the cats was in it. They was into the engineering. When they got to the engineering class, they was like, this is where we're at. This is where we're comfortable. And that was a beautiful thing, man. That's why. So y'all need to really check out African American Male Achievement, because they do a lot of positive stuff with students, man. A lot of stuff. And I've been working with them for like probably 11 years.
The thing they did at Chabot this year, my son got 2 awards from there when they did their awards ceremony at Chabot this year.
Don't they have what's going on with the African American female achievement?
They have African American female achievement. They got Latino excellence achievement. They got Asian Pacific Islanders achievement. So they're getting these kids, man, that are actually really brilliant and want to do stuff.
Some of this, well, that's the thing. It's like students are brilliant in their own right. What the problem is when you get a child in kindergarten and you ask them what they want to do, right? And they say, I want to work with dinosaurs in space. And you have teachers who are saying, no, you can't do that. That's not a real job. And then they break them down. And now what you're doing is you're killing a kid's creativity.
Mhm.
You know, instead of saying you can't do that, it's like, well, how do you do that? How do you make this happen? And then you get to realize the actual genius of a child, because their mind hasn't been broken down into society terms. They're actually thinking, yeah, I'm about to deal with dinosaurs in space. And you never know in 20 years what kind of archaeology dig that they're doing on the moon. So you're not supposed to break down what a kid is thinking. Now, kids are genius and scientists from the womb.
That's true.
It's school and it's adults. It's the people who break them down and tell them what they can't do.
Well, it's the curiousness, because when we were growing up, I'm older than you, but when we were growing up, we liked experimenting. That's the thing we did.
Yes.
Radio Shack was one of my favorite stores, because they used to have this 151 electronic science kit or something like that. Man, I was making. If you went to I stayed in Fillmore, born and raised San Francisco. You understand me? Oh boy. In my room, I built a burglar alarm for my door in my mother's house.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I got one of them 151 registers or whatever, and they had burglar alarm. I was like, okay, cool. And it came with a tripwire. Man, I put that thing together. I taped it to my door, and I actually had a burglar alarm for my room.
I'm
But
not
that's the
mad.
type of stuff I used to like to do, man. Putting stuff
Yeah.
together like
You
that,
be
that was my
adventurous.
thing. That was my thing. Because, I mean, all we had was like, when you walked in class, you just had all these materials. And today we're going to make this. I used to make like record players and stuff like that, man. With like, you get a needle and a pencil and, a box and stuff like that. Man, I was a genius as a kid, bro. You know, ask somebody, man. Read the book. Don't wait for the movie. I'm telling you, man.
I do want to give a shout out to DJ. DJ, she's been not asking questions, but commenting. And I haven't been meeting with anyone. She asked who I've been meeting with, and no one as of late. This was like a year or two ago where I met with a guy with the kids. But she's working on it. I'm working on it. DJ already calls me the Black Miss Frizzle, so I go with it. I love it. And she said humans are natural scientists, which is very true. We just kind of tear away at that natural curiosity, unfortunately, in school, and some parents. And she says she misses Radio Shack.
Yeah,
me too.
We all do.
Oh man, I miss
'Cause they
Radio
had
Shack.
all of the stuff. I mean, you could go in there and buy something and pull it apart. Because that was me. I like to see why something worked.
Yep.
So I love to go in there and pull it apart and then try to reassemble it. You hear me use the word try.
Right.
Reassemble it.
So actually she said who I'm in the room with right now. So let me break it down. You're listening. This is a podcast. You're listening to In the Know with Kat Bobino, but we also do a Facebook Live. So I have Deshaun, I have Tavare, and I have James Rockefeller the third.
That's Chismois.
Yes.
The
the third.
Of the San Francisco Rockefellers.
Right.
Yes.
And so this week's episode, I wanted to talk about robots. So we talked about the robot Pink in Australia earlier, which is amazing. And side note, I'm gonna see if we can somehow get that robot out here. I would love to just like try that in the school out here. But everyone just kind of walked into this podcast, and I'm okay with it. We've had some really good conversations, and so
we did, but it was kind of fun though, because because we never got off of science. See, you said shenanigans. We wasn't trying to do shenanigans. And Kat wanted to do shenanigans, and we wanted to talk about science.
Oh, that's how we gonna play that.
Wow, putting their own.
Okay, because I feel like I was.
Hey, who put this foam in my water?
So James has been drinking quote unquote water that was yellow and had foam. So I mean, I don't know what kind of water that is, but yeah. No, that's not the water you was drinking. Don't even play.
See, that's cold.
I mean,
like,
speak the truth, shame the devil, right? That's what we say, right?
Oh, come on, with the color purple.
Truth, shame the devil.
Don't make me fight you. Anyway. Yeah, so that's this podcast just kind of was a conglomerate that just kind of melded together tonight, and I'm cool. I'm thankful for it because
positive Black folks in here,
right? And we kind of I wanted to buy this. Please stop. So I wanted to buy this digital sewing machine because I wanted to make my own science dresses. Like DJ she has like 1 million science dresses. I'm jealous.
She does.
But I want to make my own. So I'm like trying to convince somebody to let me get a digital sewing machine. But back to the creativity. I have gotten on this kick watching do-it-yourself videos.
Yes, she has.
Like a serious kick. And I'm like, let's bring this back. So y'all might get candles or some soap soon.
You know what? You know who got me on do-it-yourself videos? Like my partner Ram here at Where Media Meets History and Making Entertainment, Feral Films. You gotta give a shout out. But
shout out.
Ram is like this super technical cat, like especially when it comes to like television equipment and television production or whatever. And I'm always calling him about something, right? And then I look it up on YouTube, and then when he's about to give me the answer, I say, I already found it. But he's the one that actually got me looking at YouTube. He was like, dude, go to YouTube video and find it. So I had a problem today where I hit him first. Yeah. And then I was like, didn't he tell me to go to YouTube? I went to YouTube, found the solution, and it was all good. So I learned how to build a lot of stuff. We built studios watching YouTube. Trust me on that one.
Yes. And I knew Rams I know him from school. We went to school together, high school together, and he's always been like that. Even back in school,
And that's why when I saw him in here, I was just shocked. Like I was shocked, but wasn't surprised because it was like, yeah.
There's three brothers in here. Like when they say black people can't work together,
Yeah.
there's three brothers in here, and we've had a studio together for over 10 years. I think it's been like 13, 14 years. We've been working together. We've done like 7 movies together. We've done a ton of TV shows. Man, is it
8, maybe 9 movies? I mean,
yeah, we've done a lot. I mean, we can work together. I mean, because we all, you know what I'm saying, we all have our own businesses, but we can come together and do stuff. So, and when y'all were talking about folks hating, we tried to start this, well, not us, but somebody tried to start this coalition of like black filmmakers or whatever, right? They would go every place else to have a meeting, but our studio. And we always offered, hey, if y'all want to have a meeting, come here. This is what we do. Y'all in your environment. We could never get cats to come to our studio. I think they came one time. Wow. I'm like, this is y'all environment, but they'll go like there's one of the dudes in it had a club. They would go to the club all the time, you know what I'm saying, to have a meeting. They would go any place else but here. And I was like, why, dude? This is your environment. And we're proof that black people can work together.
Yes. Yeah.
Because we've been working together forever.
We don't care who name on the marquee.
That's right.
And also, I like to just throw out there that we all get down with the dominoes, and Deshaun gets down with the barbecue. I'm just throwing that out there. You know,
shut up and eat.
Oh my God!
Shut up and eat.
Man, I just have to throw that out there because I'm waiting on the next event.
Oh, it's coming.
Hey, we might do a shut up and eat in the parking lot at the studio.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna like say this. Sean, you live walking distance from us, so all you gotta do is if you cook, you know, we'll be there.
Got it.
Especially now that it's summer, we can just walk. Like last time it was winter, we drove. It was cold as shit. But now it's warm, we can actually walk. So you know, if you need something on it, just let me know.
And I'm bringing back since I'm old school, I'm bringing back get-togethers.
Yes.
Get-togethers where you fry chicken about 3:00 in the morning, and you wake your kids up in the footy pajamas to show you their dance. But my youngest is like 21, so I don't think that's going to fly. That's Effie's home. But I'm bringing back get-togethers.
Okay.
There was never a fight at a get-together.
No.
Never
Fight together. A lot of laughing till you got tears and your stomach hurt. But
people go home about 5:00 in the morning. Yeah. So we're bringing back get-togethers.
Make that on a Friday. Then let me give all Saturday.
And a get-together would happen on a Wednesday.
No, I gotta go to work. But do it on a Friday. That way I have all Saturday to recover and Sunday. I'm older now. You know, sometimes it's a little, you gotta take longer to.
A get-together would happen on a Wednesday, and people would just go to work. Man, let me get home, change my clothes, go to work. Starbucks. And go straight to work for the get-together.
Straight to work.
Yeah, we've been talking for like an hour and a half plus now.
Because we can. We can, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We can do this because we're having a good time.
We are having a good time. I appreciate you guys. What you gonna say, Tavare?
I just want to say hi, DJ. Tell your husband that I still want to come down there and learn how to use the drone.
You just embarrassed me a little bit. Not just playing. DJ's husband is cool. He flies drones. Like I should show y'all some of the photos and videos he do. Is off the chain.
My phone is dissipated.
That's because you don't have any quote unquote water in there anymore.
I'm all out of raisins.
Uh-huh.
It's a hot day too. What am I sitting here sober for? Oh, I'm sorry. We're talking about science.
Well, it took science to make that.
Yes, it did.
Yes, let's go there with that.
Yes,
so I'm just drinking an experiment. That worked. Wow, this show is a good experiment.
And the petri dish with a top.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go. That's for real.
Yeah, you got some yeast in there eating away.
Yeah. But if there's something that you want us to, if you want to see like certain subjects or that you want us to talk about or a certain podcast or whatever, we got like about 5 or 6 people that's going to be doing podcasts, and it's going to be through VJTVnetwork.com. So you're going to see Cats, you're going to see Deshaun's Cognac Confessions. I may or may not do something. But we got a lot of people that want to do different things. Even my youngest son, he's in the sports real heavy, so he's going to be doing a sports guy called Boss Man Sports. And then you're also going to see him at the Merit Merit games. Coach, shout out to Coach Derek Jones for the Merit Thunderbirds. They're going to start airing their games. So you're going to be able to see their games, and you should go to some of these games because, right now in high school and college sports, by the way, Laney College, one of the teams that I do public address for, is this season is going to be on Last Chance U.
Yeah, I seen
So
I saw that commercial.
they're
Not
California
that,
state champions. Also through the Oakland Athletic League, which I like to give a shout out to Francisco Navarro, my folks, who is the new commissioner of the OAL.
Oh.
He's great choice. He replaced Sonia Phillips, which was Coach Beam, the famous Coach Beam, his daughter. But now she's working with the CIF. And under Sonia, they had 3 California state champions. They had McClymonds High School in football, and in women's basketball, they had Oakland High and Oakland Tech.
Mm-hmm.
So Oakland is booming in high school and college sports. So y'all really, and now the Coliseum is like, y'all need to support some of these high school and college games because these kids go out there and play.
Play their heart out.
They play.
Y'all just need to support people doing shit anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
Like
say
she
that.
just came with it.
I'm serious. Like, I mean, it's a lot of people doing amazing things, and so just taking. Oh yeah.
Ain't nothing on my phone.
My quote unquote very brown water is almost gone. So
That's terrible.
yeah, that's okay. I don't need any more. I'm going to go get me something to eat, take my dog out, and go to bed.
Thank you for inviting us to In the Know with
Yes.
Cat Bobino.
Y'all very
Starring
welcome.
Cat Bobino with special guests James Earl Rockefeller III and Deshaun James. Catch Deshaun James on Friday at 6 o'clock for Cognac Confessionals. I'm not finished.
Oh, go ahead. you know, I'm very protective.
Now I got to go and Tavare because you messed it up.
Okay, no, wait, just start over.
Rewind. Even give me a chance to go there.
Okay.
I want to get Tavare on, like, when he's talking about like financial literacy, especially like when you're talking about buying homes and credits and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah, real talk. I really got to get him on it because he hit me to some stuff and I was like, I didn't know that.
Well, I already have a guest for next week, but the following week, Tavare and I worked for an organization where I helped people with their credit and their finance, and he helped people with buying a home. So if that's something you guys and gals are interested in, just let us know, and then maybe we can bring that to fruition and make that an episode.
Because people are talking about credit right now. Because before we didn't really trip off of credit. As long as we had cash, we could buy something. But now credit is like so important. Yeah. You're like, oh man, I need to get that credit, bro.
One thing that Tavare has said recently that I didn't think about, but it's very true. We will not quickly, but we will be more into talking about sex with our kids before we talk about money and credit.
Yeah. No, I talk about money with my kids.
Oh, you a good one. You a good one. But if you look at growing up and
Dad, bro.
No, but I'm serious. Like growing up, and there's a lot of people who hit 18, got those credit cards. Blew it up.
Oh, the $500 limit.
Hey, and when we're talking about, teaching your kids about money, we're talking about teaching them about how to hold on to money. Not that if your kid want to borrow $20, if you had a job, you had $20 in your pocket. That's not talking about money.
You just heard some people's eardrums.
I'm sorry,
but it's cool. You're right.
Kid money.
You're right.
And you got to look at it like this too. Like now with this current generation of parenting, we are talking about finance a lot more with our kids. But when I made that statement, I was talking about when I'm coming up as a kid. Our parents never talked about their financial situation, whether they were doing good or bad. And if you asked about their credit, you almost got your teeth knocked out. But they would tell us about the birds and the bees and sit down and want to have a conversation about grandkids, but never, ever taught us how to make money, hold on to money, and why our credit was good to own up to your promises that you made with businesses. Mm-hmm. So when I talk about that, or when she makes that statement, it's a true statement. I remember my grandmother would talk about sex before she talked about money. And if I asked her about her money or how she made her money, you all in my business.
Right.
Right.
My mother taught me about money and how to hold on to it. That's all you getting this weekend. You better hold on to it.
When you spend it quick, that's on
That's
you.
it. That's on you. So mom's taught me real well how to hold on to money. I'd be like, nah, man, I ain't gonna need them blow pops, bro.
Right. So what would she say if you saw your Amazon account?
See, that's something I told you in confidence. And there you go. There you go.
Amazon is your friend.
Oh.
You don't want to go there with me, Cat. I know stuff too. I ain't gonna put you on the spot. I know stuff too.
Amazon is not my friend.
Leave my Amazon alone.
Like I said, y'all probably go get some candles or some soaps. So I done order some bullshit off of Amazon, but I'm
Okay.
Amazon sent me fruit baskets. I live on Amazon. My wife be mad. I know who delivered this. Before she come in the house, she look at the door for delivery.
Like, where is it? I know it's a package here.
That's when she know I don't have any money because she don't see no deliveries at the door. I was getting something coming literally every other day. Something was coming to the house. And then when there was nothing there, I ain't got no money this week. I ordered dumb. It'd be $8, and I'm like, oh, I need that.
right. Right. That's me. I'm not gonna lie to nobody. So next week when y'all see me on Facebook Live and I'm on this podcast, I'm gonna showcase y'all the new things that I DIY
Okay.
that I did. I'm gonna make I got the things to make bath bombs, to make soap, to make candles, to make shower bubbles or whatever the things they call it. Like,
Not the old school dishwashing liquid?
Come on.
no, we've upgraded from that. Well, we don't use Dawn in our
Some joy.
He took it back.
No, we don't use that.
Since
no
her
more.
car went out on, she gonna have a little soapbox derby sitting out there. That's what I did, DIY.
That might be, that might be something that I actually will do. Just do something simple DIY, and that might be a giveaway, right?
There you go.
Every time I do a podcast, here's something that I made custom, in the know with Cat Bobino, custom made with a sticker or something.
Hey, there you go.
My coworker's trying to get me to buy a Cricut. It's a machine that you can do like creativity stuff and make things on and like make decals and all this crazy stuff. And I'm trying really hard not to buy it. Digital sewing machine might be
Yeah,
my
I like
first
custom
buy.
stuff too. I make a lot of custom stuff. Bottles of glass, some bottles.
So anyway,
And
we've
it's
been
a
on the
chemical
air.
mix.
I'm done with you. So you guys, thank you for being on my podcast tonight with In the Know with
Appreciate
Cat Bobino. I really appreciate y'all
Appreciate it.
tuning
Just
in.
coming through the support and pop the seat.
I had a ball.
Thank you guys
What's
for
up?
everyone who's listening. And I want to say thank you to everyone on Facebook Live who chimed in and was a part of the show tonight. Really appreciate it. Oh, Tiana told me I got to buy it. See, that's that influence. Right? That's that influence. She going to make me go back and look on Cricut like, oh, sorry, I'm about to look on Craigslist. Somebody probably selling it for the low. Because that ain't cheap. But if somebody want to sponsor, a Cricut or a digital sewing machine, I'm really all in for that. But before we go, I just wanted to let you guys know that I do have a GoFundMe for my business to keep creating some of these awesome videos and podcasts. So check it out in my on Facebook or Instagram or even Snapchat. I think I shared it on Snapchat and Twitter today. So check it out if you feel the desire to help out. Man, thank you. I appreciate because running a business, doing your own thing, doing your own nonprofit, all that stuff
all the
is.
good people. Tiana McCoy.
I said I shut her out. She said I can borrow her, so y'all might see some custom made things.
Oh, James Rockefeller is watching. Oh, I'm sorry, it's me.
Anyways, I'm cutting you off your water tonight. Trina, don't be mad at me. This is not my fault.
I guess you out of coffee, huh?
Yes, that's what it was. Cold coffee.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for being on this show tonight.
For sure.
Next week, I'm going to be talking to a young gentleman who out of Texas who has his own STEM thing going on too. So make sure you tune in next Wednesday at 6:30. I don't know. One of these jokers might jump in again. Who knows? Things just kind of happen at where media meets.
No, we're gonna be good.
Will you though?
No, we're always good.
Okay.
I'll be in the parking lot keeping it cloudy.
Keeping it cloudy. Okay. Just bring some chicken in, just some cooked chicken, and I'll be happy.
I got a question. Who's gonna get up and press the button?
I think you closest.
I got it.
Rochambeau you for it. No.
All right, till next week, every Wednesday at 6:30. It's right here on In the Know with Kat Bobino.
Yes. All right. Good night, everyone.
Pieces.
You know,
Smile.
it's touchscreen.
Smile. Oh, touch